to spare. I can't believe I made it back in the nick of time. Come on, guys. Toby, Mocha. Toby. Come on. Toby. Toby, come on. Hey, what's up, everyone? Can you hear me okay? Yeah, thanks, Dave. All right. Let's give me just one sec. All right, so we're thanks everyone for coming. How's everyone doing tonight? My mic is way over here. I just want to make sure it's crystal clear. I'm getting it out of my face. Yeah, I guess just let me know if, like, Aquafina, not that clear. Let me get my Epic pen. What's up, Carlos? How you feeling, man?
Hey man, how you doing?
I hear it in your
We are
voice.
we are actually you're probably gonna have some people come in here thinking that class 4 is in here at 8. Um
Is class 4 right now? Because we can move it to the chat room.
yeah, we're gonna do class 4. But no, hold on a second. Let's just wait and see.
Hmm.
Um Maybe I'll move to the chat room and you stay here, man. You're all set up. How's it going? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good, man. Everything's good. We are on YouTube, but only a couple people are watching right now, so it's all good. So yeah, man. And we can definitely move over for you. This is your room when you need it.
No worries, no worries. I'll definitely move to the chat room and good luck with everything, man. Looking forward to seeing the replay after of all the trade reviews. So no, good
Sounds good,
stuff.
man. And I hope you feel better. So, if any here, I'll type it in. If anyone's here looking for the chat, looking for class 4, I'm sorry I hijacked the room from Carlos. Go over to the chat room. Class 4 is in chat room. We are doing the trade reviews here. Yeah, see ya, Carlos. I'll remind people a couple times. All right, guys, but for the I'm not sure, Mario. That's Carlos is the man for that. But yeah, if you're here for the classroom, or if you're here for class 4, head over to the chat room. But if you're here for the trade review, send over some your trades in the off topic from today or previous days, and we'll look at them together. All right, guys, but and what's up, anyone watching on YouTube? All right, so we got some trades over here. Jay, we got a small group today. Wednesday at this time, it's we might not keep doing this at this time because there's just not a lot of people that come, and I totally understand why. But for a little bit, we'll do this. All right, Jay, man, are you still here? Man. All right, Jay, so you are seeing LCI. It was definitely in play. Daily gap up, broke the 50 SMA on the 1, so went long on the pullback with a stop below VWAP. Upon reviewing, looks like a nice setup, but needs your feedback. Yeah, I can give you exact feedback, man. And 2, wedge formation on the 1 on a strong daily gap up. 5 minute was bullish, so went long after the break of the 50 MA on the 1 again with the stop just below VWAP. But slippage was real bad. Had a hard stop place, but lost a lot on slippage. Looks like I would have stopped out anyways after seeing that huge wick, right? I see it right here. Yeah, Jay, it's a decent setup. First of all, you're going with the trend. You are not trying to catch a reversal, and you're trying to wait for a pullback. So these are all really great things. I actually like this trade a lot more. You've got 5 minute holding support, the daily gap up, the moving average is starting to cross under the 9 and 20, okay? And you've got a new 5 minute high, a new 5 minute high, and it sure wanted to run right there. And it just, this is the move you were looking for. And it could have so easily happened here, man. These are good trades, okay? And I love the stop out you got out right here. It's really great risk to reward. And you didn't profit out early, Jay. This is fantastic trading, man. Really, really, I like that trade a lot. It just didn't work out, okay? This was a really good entry, I think. Now, on this trade, yep, no revenge. Now, Jay, there's a difference between revenge and getting back in on a good setup, and I'm not saying there was another good setup here, but just note, if you can take independent trades because you're familiar with the stock from what it's doing, and you have a good idea, it just didn't work out, you can get back in as long as it's an independent valid setup. All right, Jay, but on this one, in hindsight, do you know what I might say about this trade, about what we can learn from this trade? That's number 1. Don't trade in the first 5 minutes. As a brand new trader, you get all these moves that are really hard. Look at how violent this is. 50 cents in 5 minutes on a stock that's $8. That is a very high percentage, man. That's a very big move. And the spread wasn't even horrible. The slippage was bad because of the volume, but the spread wasn't bad. So number 1, sometimes it's just not good to trade in the first 5 minutes, okay? Number 2 is when you're talking about breaking over the moving averages, when I've studied these moving averages enough, and a break over the moving average is nothing I'm interested in, especially on the 1 minute, okay? I don't like those setups. If anything, I'm going to go short here. This is my short area if I was really smart, okay? This is my long area if I'm really, really smart, and it's an incredibly hard trade to do, but I want to go short at the resistance and go long at the support. Where does this moving average cease to be resistance? When it crosses under the 9 and 20, when it crosses under the other moving averages, and the moving averages are crossing and stacked correctly, okay? Now, this trade, it was happening, and it could have so easily worked out, which is why I love it. Right here, the moving average is getting under VWAP, getting under the 9 and 20, and you had a new 5 minute high. It's above VWAP. Love it, man. But then look what happens over here. When the 200 gets completely under all the moving averages, it's out of the way. Now you get the run-up that you were wanting. Okay, so how I see the moving averages is not a break above it with price action, but a break above it with it crossing under. Okay, just like this. You see this little wick? Oh no, it's breaking down. And I know that's not really breaking down, but you could see it little wicked out. It's like, God, that is just such a great long opportunity. All right, Jay? You see it? Right, okay, but still besides that, I look at the moving averages slightly different, okay? We want the cross. If anything, I'm going to go short here. I'm going to go long here. It's not breaking above it until this happens. I love this setup. That's a really good setup. Okay, cool, Jay. But really, really good job, man. Don't trade in the first 5 minutes. Trade exactly like this, and this will work out. Support, 5-minute break. Bam, it could run so easily. Fantastic trade. Ted Wannabe from YouTube. Can I access this program from the main chat room? Yeah, it's in the classroom, Ted. Not the chat room, but it's in the classroom. All right, let's... Jay, you got it. I'm going to just skip to Dave F. And Dave F, comment in the actual chat room for us. Not the... I mean, the actual main tab, not the off topic for me. Thank you. And Mike, I see you're here, or I saw you were here earlier. If you have any trades, please submit it. And anyone else, we're doing the trade review in the classroom right now. If you're here for Carlos's class 4, we just had a little, I had to change the schedule because he had to reschedule it. So that's in the chat room. Class 4 is in the chat room right now. Yeah, Jay, I'll probably get back to it right after this one. We don't have a lot of trades. So for the off, so for Dave F, are you still here, man? Yeah, we'll do. So what do we got? Trading AMD. Was this from today? I didn't even look at AMD because it wasn't on our list of things. But boy, it did something interesting if this is today. Is it today, Dave F? Okay, great. All right. Well, good job catching something that's in play. And Jay, just so you see this, look. Whatever moving average this is, it's bouncing once, twice, 3 times, pops above it, comes back and retests, and then look as it's starting to cross over. Ooh, look at that run up. Look at this open frickin' space. Man, I like this trade because it is very good open space. All right, Dave. So what did you do? What was your strategy here? VWAP, remount, ABCD, multiple time frame alignment. Heck yeah, Dave. So what do you mean from multiple time frame alignment? Aligned on the 1, 2, and 5. All right. So what was your setup on the 1 minute? And then after that, answer what was it on the 2 minute and what was it on the 5 minute, so everyone can see that because I love it. ABCD on top of VWAP. Okay, you got an A, B, C, D. Okay, I see that. 2 minute doji break of the high. You got this little bull flag. Let's zoom in for people to see. You got the 2 minute break of the little flag and the doji. I love it. I see that. Then on the 5 minute. Right, so it's more like a 10-minute orb. Unless you call this the 5-minute orb and it's breaking, is that what you mean? Or do you mean this candle? Or when you say orb, do you mean this one? Okay, got it. 10-minute orb. That makes more sense. Candle 2, right? And look. Yep. Sell off, doesn't break, come back up. Now it's interesting, right, Dave? This looks like a long. This gives your ABCD. This gives your 2 minute doji indecision break. And then did you note, I don't know if, I don't think I've talked with you a lot, Dave, but did you note that there was no moving, there was very little overhead moving average resistance? Like, it looks very clean. You have this one coming up, which is far away, and you do have this one, which is incoming, which is pretty tight. Awesome, Dave. So that's why you held so long. So is this a moving average, though? Is this like the 200 on the 1? All right, so why did you think that this was a good place to not sell at? And why did you not care about this? And it looks like you entered in a second time here, correct? All right, so why did this not scare you out? Because it probably would have for me. And I need to learn too. If this wasn't here, oh man, it's like picture, picture perfect. But one moving average won't always stop all price action. Because that was the last wall. Got it. So this was the last thing until you had this up here. God. All right, Dave. So note that when we see the stocks bust through moving averages all the time, when there's a good news catalyst and they're just not acting as the resistance and support that they might, you don't know. But if they're not in front of your trade, it's not even a question then. People will not. Anyone who's looking at those for levels, they're not there and they won't place their orders. So that's a beautiful thing about this. They don't always work out, but when they do, you get to hold. And is that what you were thinking? That you get to hold on this trade because of that? Heck yeah, man. And so what type of risk to reward did you get on this trade? Heck yeah, Dave got a 6-to-1 risk to reward. And where did you learn to do that from? BBT, right? And we teach all the time. And guess what I don't do? I don't do this all the time. So even though I'm the one that really shares this is my setup and my strategy, I still need to remember from traders like you who trade it better than me sometimes. This is fantastic. It's a very, very great hold, an ad, and another ad right there. We can all learn from each other. So seeing you do this helps to reinforce what I want to do, okay? So really thank you for sharing it. Thank you for executing it so great. And it's just a reminder, like, yeah, that's why I love these plays. Okay, so really good job, Dave. And just note, Dave, you got a 6-to-1 on this. Just let yourself have a loser. Let yourself have a second loser, a third loser, a fourth loser. And then when these come, turn this into that 6-to-1, the 7-to-1, the 8-to-1. Don't worry about each individual trade. Just maximize your winners and minimize your losers. And that's the name of the game. It's so simple in theory, so hard in practice. All right. We got JD. JD from Florida, yeah? All right, so JD's going to lead a forum post to do an October meetup in Florida. And well, that's a long ways away, but anyone's welcome to join. It's going to be really fun, I think. Andrew's going to be there in the Florida. And thank you, JD, for leading that and taking care of all the issues that might come along, like all the other people around Florida that might be hard to, to drive and get there, but we're trying to make it happen. So thank you. Clearwater Beach, Florida. And remember, JD, when you look for a place to do this in, we want to get something semi-private or private, if possible, just so we can have group discussions versus only one-on-one sitting next to each other. But I know that's difficult. But that's the goal. That's the goal, man. They'll drive and they'll fly, maybe. Heck yeah. All right, so let's look at your trade, man. All right. God, I got a note. Were you listening when I saw this one, JD, in the chat? And I didn't trade it, but I was talking about it. I saw the time and sales. I saw the green buying. And I was wanting to do it, but I couldn't trade it because it wasn't on my setup list. Did you hear that? Yeah, that. And then you saw the 240,000 share order. So if you guys want to know how this happens on a stock that's, what, $70, so it moves from, what is this, the 2-minute, 79 and 82. When you look at this chart, it's a fake chart in a way. You think like, oh God, if I could get it here, here, here or something, like this could be a great winner. Like if it just breaks this high and I can enter in here, I can do a great move. Like, God, I have FOMO or something like that. You can't do it. This was a block trade of 240,000 shares in 2 orders over the course of a couple seconds. So after it broke here, it just gapped up. It's just like an instant gap. And then for that minute, it just kind of went up and down with crazy people trying to ride the wave. but it was a gigantic single block order that caused this move. And then JD, if I was really smart, what I should have done, because I've seen this 3 times in the last couple of weeks, and so since you saw this, I want to help. There is very little chance, JD, after you see those giant orders in a big move, that it's coming back down. This is the type of play then where you can get it kind of up here somewhere, and you can say, I'm going to hold down here and go for like, I don't know, just like a 1-to-1 or even a 50, a half to 1, because it's so confident. I'm so confident that whoever was buying that is going to prop it up. No one wants to sell against that. And if they do, it's going to be propped up by those buyers. So just note that since you saw that in the chat this morning, JD. But on your specific trade, what do you got here? A, B, C. JD, you got in right here for the break. Was this the break of this 2-minute candle? And was your stop here? I hope you say yes, because if you have such a tight stop. So where was your stop, man? Okay, your stop was the 200 moving average. It was this. Now, maybe this changed. Did it hit your stop or... Oh, the light blue line. So it definitely hit your stop, right? Okay. So that... let me see. Oh, wait. Someone told me... There you go. I can do this. Okay, JD. I like it. This is a really good... You're going with the trend. You were so close to hitting it. I don't know how well it would have turned out to be a winner, but we can look at your stop. Great idea. I don't think it's that ugly. A, B, C, D. Strong stock. Trying to move up. We saw this big volume. You're going with the trend. Note that you're using this as your stop, which is not a bad idea. But again, you're not even allowing yourself a 2-minute low. So within the idea of using this stop, which is interesting, you're saying, I'm not going to let this be a 2-minute low. You're going to get it before it breaks a 2-minute low. So within the moves of price action, you're keeping your stop really, really tight. Now, again, JD, when you do that, you get better risk to reward, but a lower chance of working out. And in this specific example, you weren't even caring about that. You were caring about this. But when you're considering this, note that you're giving it very little room to breathe in terms of normal ups and downs. Okay, so it's 80 cents. Then I get it. Then this is a big candle. I totally get that. Then, JD, it just might not be the best risk to reward at that point then. We can't, it looks good on the chart. I like your entry. I like your reading of the chart. But if this is 80 cents and you can't even give it that much room to breathe, it might not be the best setup. Or you wait for a little bit more of a pullback, which is an incredibly hard thing to do as well. I understand. I'm being a little nitpicky, but just within these movements, probably, JD, this is what I'm getting at. My trades would increase maybe 20% likelihood of working out if I let myself have more than a 2-minute low on a long, and probably a 50% chance of working out if I let myself have a 5-minute low. Right? When I like to have stops that are very tight as well, and I don't always have the patience to wait for it to go closer to my stop, and I'm always learning, God, if I could just learn this, do this, so much likelihood of working out. So just note that, man. Everything about it was good, but the risk to reward could have been there, but it's a wide stop, 80 cents for sure. That's 1% on this stock, so I get it. And actually, now that I'm looking at this larger chart, JD, it would have worked out. So you had the same thing, breakout over this wedge. It actually cleared this, or this top. It cleared that level, gave a little pullback, you stopped out, missed this entry for an ABCD. Yep, I see that. They're good trade ideas, man. They're really good. They just don't always work out. Like you've seen me in the last. I'm really happy, JD, with my trades I've taken in front of the room. Had one really great trade yesterday, but the other ones have been losses for a full R, or losses for a smaller than full R, or winners that are like 1 R or slightly above 1 R. So nothing really big besides that one. But I'm really happy. I've like managed it when I haven't gotten the good moves that I would like to get, especially in front of everyone. But I'm still very pleased with the setups that I've taken, and so I feel good. So these are trades that I think you can learn from, feel good, and do them again and again, just execute a little bit better. Yeah, JD, I like it a lot. One more reminder, if anyone's here for the Class 4, that's in the chat room with Carlos. If anyone in YouTube has any trades that they want, just comment and we'll look at one of your trades too from YouTube. Jay, we can go to yours. And if anyone else has any trades in the off topic, please submit them. If not, we can talk about something else. God, why do I have 3 Epic pens open? There you go. What's up, Ryan from work? All right. Ryan, maybe I'll try to pull up one of your trades from Instagram. I don't know if I can. I could probably do that. I don't know. Give me a sec. We'll see if I have time for it. All right, Jay. I think Jay from Australia, if I remember right. Are you still here, man? Thanks, Jerry. And Jay. Okay, Jay might not be here. Let's go to Jerry and we'll come back to Jay. What's up, Magno from YouTube? All right, Jerry, are you here? Okay, from 826. There you go. It's all right. 826. That was 2 days ago. Okay, we've got NVIDIA. Now, was NVIDIA... Why isn't... Hold on, let me... Was NVIDIA in play 2 days ago? Did it come up on our gappers list, or is it just a regular stock for you? Okay, you think it was? Okay, good. That's a good start. Okay, so these aren't the actual specific entry points. So we've got the 1, the 2, the 5. This is difficult. Are you... How they're not all lined up? Jerry, is that your normal, or did you just do this for the trade review? How it's they're not like perfectly uniform. It just kind of throws me off a little bit. I'm wondering if it throws you off. Does it throw you off knowingly or unknowingly in your trading? Yeah, I don't know if you can fix that, but those little things might help. Maybe it doesn't hinder you, but even for me, it's like it makes it. Trading's hard enough, and to have something that even makes it a little difficult makes it that much harder. Got it. All right, so we've got the 1, the 2, the 5, the 15, the hourly, the day. Let's see how someone looked at this chart. Let's see how Jerry saw this. All right, Jerry, is the blue line VWAP? Yeah, Jerry, go for it. Try to straighten them out for yourself. Okay, the blue line is the 50. Where is VWAP on this? Bait? Beige, 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 beige. Got it. Alright, so what are you thinking here? You go short here, which is 13. Short here, short here, short here. Alright, Jerry, so what was your strategy and your setup here? How did you see this chart and how did you execute? Based on the 50 SMA on the 15, holding below that. So this blue line. Okay. Why did you define that as the resistance point? What did you see? And I already know the answer. I just want you to say it so when other people can see the chart. But how did you identify this as the resistance? Okay. You're looking at all the time frames. Good. You're getting a broader picture. Many of them agree. But did you note that it nicked it off once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, pretty much? That's what I'm trying to get at here, and I'm guessing yes. Okay, there you go. I know it's a super simple answer, but for someone else who doesn't trade off the 15, okay, who here, at least one person, chime in. Who here does not look at the 15-minute chart? Does anyone in here today not look at the 15-minute chart? All right, Mario. You don't look at the 15-minute chart. Let's say you're looking at the 5-minute chart, and you see this bottom, you see this bottom, you see this green candle, and you see it breaks up for a 5-minute chart, and it looks bullish on the 1-minute chart as well, with these wicks holding this moving average and a new 1 and 2-minute high with a new 5-minute high. Mario, does that look like something you might be interested for a long in? Yeah, you might. Not saying you will, but I want to say that you might, for sure. You have the 1, the 2, the 5, trying to break up. Maybe it's going to break through. I don't know where VWAP is on this. Maybe the VWAP is the beige line. I guess it's the beige line. So it's trying to hold the VWAP. So you as a trader are just looking at that, and you have no idea what's going on the higher time frame, which someone else is looking at. And now see this incoming moving average, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then some trader like Jerry is seeing this as the resistance. He's also seeing the 1, 2, and 5, and guess what? He's not caring about that 5-minute high. That means nothing to him, other than a good opportunity to go short because it's hitting to 50. There you go. It's the entry point for Jerry. He wants to go short right there, and you might want to go long right there. And usually the higher time frames win. Not always. And when there's news catalysts and something like has momentum, the moving averages are far less important. Now, Jerry, let's say if this moving average wasn't here, would you still have taken the trade with all of the other charts identical? Okay, Jerry. So Mario, note that he wouldn't take this trade if this wasn't here. So that's one person. Now, Jerry, are you live or sim? Live. Okay, Jerry, and I'm guessing you don't trade a large shares, especially on this. So would you mind sharing how many your shares? I'm going to guess somewhere between 50 and 100, maybe even less. Okay, 100 shares, right? That's decent on a large stock like NVIDIA. It's nothing huge. But now just imagine all the traders with their 100 shares that might do something similar like this, Mario. And on YouTube, D. Stansel. If that wasn't there, this 5-minute high would all of a sudden be a lot more significant because it wouldn't be fighting against the 15-minute traders looking at that moving average for the continuation downtrend. Mario, I'm not saying you need... hold on, I'm expecting someone... Okay. I'm expecting someone to come to my house very soon, and I gotta leave for like 1 minute when they get here. Mario, I'm not saying you need to look at multiple time frames. What I'm saying is there's always a bigger picture. What if you don't look at the hourly? Then you have the daily. Then you have the weekly. Then you have the 4-hour, which is smaller than the daily and weekly. Then you have the monthly. Different traders use different time frames to make their decisions on. All I want to do is give insight into, well, that is the case, and now how do you want your trading style to be? Andrew doesn't. He never looks at the 15-minute charts. He doesn't care about those, and he makes great trades without knowing it. Now, a lot of the times, probably just from his intuition, I would bet you that if he's making the trade, that 15-minute moving average is probably not in his way, because he's so skilled. He just like inherently wouldn't trade when that would probably be around there, even when he doesn't know it, because a lot of his moves, they just pop, and they don't just get pops when they're getting into so much resistance or support like that. So you don't have to look at multiple time frames, just wanting you to learn that there's different trading styles from different people. It depends on your trading style, it depends on your personality, it depends on how fast and how long you want to be in a trade. It depends on your patience, it depends on a lot of different factors. It depends on your ability to process the information. It's a lot to have 6 charts up, and you can look at less charts. If you only have 2 charts up, like the 1 and the 5 or the 2 and the 5 or something like that, you can all of a sudden look at 8 more charts or 8 more stocks because you don't have so many charts. So it's just your trading style, man. So hopefully that makes sense. Really great example. Really like the trade idea. And just quickly, if this was your entry, where was your stop? I know if it breaks over the 15, but it's really hard to say that, like, because it can wick out. So did you have a hard number for your stop when you got into the trade? About 14 cents. That's really tight on NVIDIA. It's a really great trade, Jerry. Okay, but that's extremely tight on NVIDIA. I'm really glad it worked out. And obviously you read the charts correctly. But just note, God, that's like 2 hotkeys hitting the spread potentially with decent share size. So just be aware of that. It worked out. You got decent, not decent. If your stop was 14 cents, you probably would have actually got stopped out with 20 to 22 cents, something like that with a little slippage. How much did you make on this in terms of cents? Yeah, D Stanzel from YouTube, that's great. So, but when you have these tight stops, man, 114 or so. So what was your risk to reward on that? That's like 8, maybe 7? 7 to 1? Yeah, so Jerry, when you have tight stops like that and you're playing these big stocks, you have to hold to larger risk to reward, which is what you did. That's how you take advantage of the tight stops. So perfect, man. If you have that tight stop and you profit out here, something, I'd be like, that's really risky. You're not getting the risk to reward you need to make that setup and strategy work. But because you held there, it's like, heck yeah. Do that 100 times. Be right 30% of the time with 7 to 1 risk to reward. That'd be 210 Rs versus 70 Rs lost. That'd be 140 Rs. Like, heck yeah, man. You could be right 30% of the time. You could be right 20% of the time and still be up if you do that type of partialing. That's really good. Yeah, I'd say I'd be most proud of the holding. The entry is amazing. The setup is really good. I love how you read the multiple charts, but that holding makes the trade. Now, Jay, I looked at it looked like you were gone for a sec. Are you still here, Jay? Okay, you left for a sec. I pulled up your second trade, but you weren't here. Let me pull it back up. So, because we have a couple minutes, guys, you know, I get a lot of different emails from different traders. And I won't say this person's name, but it's just I think would you guys all agree that if I don't say people's names and I just share good stories, would you all be fine? Let's say you emailed me something that was a story about your trading that it's not a fun story and you lost a lot of money or something, and you don't feel proud of it and you feel bad. Would you be 100% fine if I shared that story without saying your name or emailing or commenting on who it was? I know, and I'm not going to say who it was. I'm just saying, am I judging it correctly that as long as I don't say this person's name, that sharing it is really a fine idea? Like, let's say it was you, J Mario, or JD, and you told me you lost $5,000, and then I shared, hey, this trader lost $5,000 and this is what he did. Would you be upset with that? Right, and it could be, and guess what? I get emails from people from outside of our room. It's getting crazy. So yeah, this person's not even in our room, guys. So this person had a 22-day green streak, and this person lost all of it in 3 days. Okay, so it goes from 22 green to losing all of it in 3 days. And this person was really bummed, obviously. It's not you, Jerry. I'm not sure what you mean, 7-Eleven, my trade setup worksheet. And I just commented, it's very unlikely, unless you're a very, very smart and selective and successful long-term trader, although there's always exceptions, that you go on a 22-day green streak without breaking your rules. Usually you have 3 to 5 good days in a row, and then you start to get on that urge to never have a red day, and then you break your rules ever so slightly here, there, and everywhere, and it always works out until the couple days that it doesn't. Okay? And just so it's a story we will always remember. Like, we don't want to chase money. You want to chase smart trades. And I know that's contradictory because, like, Andrew at times is so skillful. It looks like he's chasing the money, but he's actually not. He's chasing his really good setups that are sometimes very hard for us to understand, but they're simple for him. It's just so simple for him to do. You see him do it every single day. He's not chasing anything. He would have blow-up days all the time if he was chasing things, breaking his rules on a constant basis. He's not. But for most of us, we gotta chase smart trades, not being green, and then the green will come. So just always remember that. Yeah, Jerry, we talk about that all the time, and that's one that, like, he does that once every 3 or 4 years. Like, man, that's right. That's totally fine. The only time I ever saw him do something like that. Okay, so Jay, with that being said, oh, Jay, gosh darn it, I am so impressed that you didn't revenge trade on it, but you still could have made another setup on it. You could have got back in enter right here. So Jay, I can already tell what you did. The sell up on absolutely no volume, heavy volume going down, such a clear 2-minute ORB. Put your stop right above VWAP, right above this wick or something right here. You're so thrilled. It goes down over $1, which was probably around a 1.5 or 2 to 1 risk to reward, and you thought you were golden, that this was going to be a one and done trade, I imagine. Not sure when your other trade was, and I know this wasn't sim. Comes back up, tests it, now you really think you're golden. Comes back up one more time, stops you out, hits the resistance, and then makes the move that would have made your day. Is that pretty much what happened, Jay? Jay, it's a great trade again, man. You don't always get that. Alright, now in the higher price stocks where the spread's wide, that's when it can happen and when it's really volatile. But I like the trade. I'd say this is a fantastic trade idea. You gave yourself enough room to breathe. You had everything going in your favor. You just got on the wrong side of a wick, man. And the fine line is, where do you get back in without revenging? Right? That's the really hard fine line. And where you can do that is when this 5-minute low breaks, and it's a clear chart, and now you're in a 5-minute trend breaking through all this, and you get your move down. But yeah, Jay, I got nothing for you other than to say it's a beautiful setup. Trade it 100 times. Hold to your risk to reward that you were aiming for, and that's going to be a successful trade, man. It's really good. So YouTube. Someone from YouTube is saying I've always had trouble later in the. No, he said this happens to me all the time. So Jay, this was in Sim, correct? Oh, this was live. Oh, I thought you were trading Sim. Okay. So Jay, even for a second, did you think, God, someone like? Hopefully you don't, but be honest. Do you think like, oh, I always get stopped out. Someone's looking for my stops and the move's going without me? Did you have that thought or not at all? Okay, now, did you have that stop realistically? Like, do you think that there might be a sliver of truth to that? Or do you know it's not true, but it's just hard to, it's hard not to think about it? It's part of the game, meaning do you think that you got stopped out because your stop was in the market? And if your stop wasn't in the market, do you think the price action would not have gone up to that level? That's my question to you. And be honest. Okay, good, because a lot of people think that because they submit their stops, that the price action goes up to their stop, stops them out, and then moves in the direction once someone is taking them out. All right, so you don't think that. Exactly. There's just a lot of traders that thought the same thing as you. And for anyone who has that idea, just go into Sim, and the same thing will happen in Sim. Treat Sim as real, you'll get stopped out in the exact same way that you get stopped out in real. So D. Stansel from YouTube, do you think that at all or not? But yeah, Jad, I love the trade, man. It's just a good trade. Okay, we got a few minutes left here. I'm going to check if anyone submitted a trade from on Bearable on our website for YouTube traders. Okay, that one has a ton of replies. Let's see this. All right, let's try to check this one out. So this is someone from YouTube, probably not a member of our room. This is Serge. Hi there, I'm Serge. Thank you for this opportunity to share with you a quick trade I made Thursday 15th, so a while back. I'm only 1.5 weeks on live trading, so take small risk and small amount of shares. I have been trading paper trading for 1 year before I started with real money. That's really great. P.S. Sorry for my English. Sorry for my not correct English, and thank you again. Did I already respond to this? Okay, so we are going to look at this one. I don't think I looked at this one before. Hopefully I didn't. And anyone from YouTube that's watching this, you can submit trades to our Bearable Trader forum. And I'll put in the link right here. And if we have time on the reviews, we will get to them. There's the link. You know what? I'm pretty sure I did already look at that one, so I'm not going to do it again. Sorry. This was the oldest one. So I did look at that. I already replied to all these. Okay, we didn't get any new ones. Sorry about that. Ching. All right, so Arthur sent one. There you go, Arthur. Whoa, is this Arthur from Eagle Bear Arthur? Or a different Arthur? Different, got it. All right. Well, no, I don't think have you ever submitted a trade before, Arthur? Okay, well, thank you for sharing. All right, we've got AMD. So apparently that was in play today. So hopefully you got a good long opportunity. Ah, okay. You must have been in the other trade review session, right, Arthur? Where you're trying to put down this? Yeah, so perfect. And in the future, what I realized is I don't care about the price, right? Like, I have to do the calculations. So when I make a forum post, Arthur, I'm going to say the stop. It's like in cents. Like, was your stop 10 cents, 12 cents, 15 cents? That's what I want to know. Not the level, but the stop. But that's what I did say, so you did it exactly right. We just need to define it to make it easier for everyone to understand. I don't care about the price, care about how far away the stop is from your entry in terms of cents. But in this case, it's simple math. 10 cents. You got a 10-cent stop. Your intended risk to reward was 1.5 to 2. Your actual risk to reward was negative R. Got it. So you held. A, B, C, D. Harmonious on the 1, 2, 5, right? So it's long. It's above all the moving averages. It's long. It's trying to make a new 15-minute high. So, Arthur. Okay, that's what I was going to know. What do other people see from this trade? And I want to know if you guys can catch something. There is a double top. Why else? And it was a good move, right? Right when you got in, you love when it instantly goes in your favor, man. That's good chart reading skill. Now, what's something to note from this trade? It did have the double top, which you saw later, which is great. But what's one other reason why this might be a tough trade to take at this time? Even though it's not a bad trade, Arthur, and I'm not going to be nitpicky, but there is a reason why might not be the best trade. That's number one, midday. Now expand on that thought, and anyone else can expand on it. Expand on the thought of midday. Well, you have some sort of daily level here, but okay, that's not exactly what I'm noting. If anyone else, does anyone else have any insight or what they're thinking on this? Why might? Because it's a good setup, Arthur. It's a good setup. But what is a reason why this really good setup might not be the best time right now to take it on AMD? And Duman from YouTube. It's not like a secret, but I very rarely talk about my P&L. Andrew talks about it every day. Norm talks about it and he shares it. Kurt does too. Other traders don't. And it's just a personal preference. And it's because whenever I've talked about P&L, I personally can't handle the stress that involves. Where when I start to talk about money, I start to chase money. Yeah, Nigel, it did shut off. I'm not sure why. And it just came back without me starting it. That was weird. So, Duman, when I start to talk about money, I start to want to chase money. And that's the last thing I want to do. And I try to share that with everyone in terms of don't chase money, chase smart setups. Can you guys hear me or not? Alright, there. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me again? Hello, hello? Okay, so you guys can hear me now? Okay, good. So I don't know what came across for Duman, but Duman, I don't talk about money because when I talk about money, I start to chase money, and I don't want to chase money, and that's the last thing I need to do. And as a smart trader, I need to do the things that help me personally, and maybe I get to the point when I talk about money, but until then, I keep it to myself. So yeah, Griffin from YouTube says, it's overextended. Arthur, it's a good setup. I like everything about it. But how many flags is this going to want to make? How much of a move? 80-cent move on AMD, midday, being extended. It's like, ooh, that's why this is a reason why I do not trade during this time. And you'll see trades that work out during this time. But if I stick to my rules, Arthur, I will never trade at this time of day. Not unless there's like a big news catalyst or something comes out and there's like a ton of momentum, something like that happens out of the ordinary. But just in general, you are trading in an extremely difficult time on a stock that already made a big move, and it might not be able to continue to make that move at that time of day. Does that make sense, Arthur? Awesome. Good. So again, take that trade a little earlier. Boy, that's a good setup. I don't even need. I like your setup, man. I know what you're doing. It's really good. You stuck to your plan. You didn't do anything dumb afterwards. It's a really great. You noticed later that it had the double top. Heck yeah. Learn from it. Really, really good trade. Nigel, shoot, sorry, Wilma, I forgot to add the new trade review requirements. It's not new trade requirements yet, man. They're not new yet. We're just starting to think about it. So it's all good. All right, this will be the last one from Nigel. Gary, I wouldn't say that. I would say that they're both very similar. Just flip the chart upside down and you'll get the other one. All right, Nigel, reverse ABCD with the shooting star at VWAP. Entry, break of the shooting star towards the bottom. All right, so first of all, you're saying this is a reverse ABCD, right? All right, so Nigel, I'm not saying that's not a reverse ABCD, but what do you think this is? Right? And again, we could just like find so many things. So I automatically saw this. This is just a wave, man. Okay, so it's a wave. Now within this wave, look at how clean this chart is, man. 5-minute downtrend. No new low. 5-minute uptrend. No new low. 5-minute downtrend. It's under VWAP. Uber was weak on the daily for sure. I wanted it to be a short also. I wanted to find a good opportunity for a chart, for a short. It's not a bad idea, especially because you waited for this. You gave yourself plenty of room to breathe, and it's at the support also. So I'm not going to be nitpicky. I like the trade, man. Not every trade's going to work out. Okay, it's under the moving averages. Okay, I don't know what happens on the other time frames, but it's not bad. Now there is one thing. This will be the last question to see if you guys can answer. There is one thing that he has on here that's incorrect. Can anyone see it and tell me what it is? There's something on here that is just incorrect. JD for sure. Yeah, Nigel, it's not a shooting star. A shooting star needs to be at the top of a trend or a mini trend, which is fine. Which you could call this a mini trend. But this needs to be it needs to be something more like, so right here, you have something like that. And that's not a shooting star, okay? It doesn't have the pressure that a shooting star would have, which is more about something like this. Now, they're not that dissimilar. I'm with you that they don't look exactly far apart. But I would never call this a shooting star. JD always shares this and continue to always share it, JD. Continue to always do it. Okay, so you see that? Nigel? Exactly. Got it. So you traded something. Let's see if it's even up here. It doesn't have a name, but it's almost a bullish candle. Like, it's not on this chart. It doesn't have a specific name, that single candle, but yeah. So the upper shadow or wick is at least twice the length of the real body. The bearish reversal in an uptrend. Ideally, you want it to close lower, but it doesn't have to. But you see, you want something exactly like that. So thanks for sharing, JD. Alright guys, thank you so much. We'll be in the room tomorrow, and thank you everyone on YouTube. Remember, YouTube traders, if you want to submit a trade for us to review, you can do it in our forum. You don't have to sign up or do anything. You can just go to our forum there and post your trades there, and we'll look at them if we have time. But thank you guys all so much, and we'll see you in the room tomorrow. Art, I didn't know you were here, Art. Have a good one. Thanks, Jerry. I'm trying. It's tough, but I'm trying. Griffin, what time are you gonna be there here? Not sure what you mean, Griffin. But Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, thanks everyone.